Alex, people walk into a beautiful kitchen and they see the Italian marble or that fancy touchless faucet, but nobody ever falls in love with the stuff that makes the sink actually, well, work. We're talking about the drain waste vent system, the DWV. It's the invisible circulatory system of a house. And let me tell you, when it decides to act up, it's a very loud, very smelly reminder of why we shouldn't take it for granted.
It's the plumbing equivalent of a bass player, right? If they do their job well, you don't even notice them. But if they're offbeat, the whole song is a disaster. Though, honestly, drain waste vent sounds like a title for a very boring civil engineering textbook.
It's a lot more dramatic than a textbook once you have a basement full of waste because you got your slopes wrong. I spent my early years thinking gravity was a simple concept. You point the pipe down, water goes away. Easy. Then I spent a whole weekend in a crawl space with a flashlight between my teeth because I forgot that air needs to move just as much as the water does.
So, enlighten the rest of us. We get the drain and waste parts. That's just gravity doing the heavy lifting. But why does a pipe full of water need a vent? It's not a chimney.
Think about a bottle of soda. You flip it upside down, it goes glug, glug, glug. It's struggling because the water coming out is fighting with the air trying to get in. In your house, that glugging is the sound of a system that's choking. The vent, the V in DWV, is there to give the system a breath of air from the roof. It equalizes the pressure. Without it, a heavy flush in the bathroom could literally suck the water right out of the sink trap next door.
And that trap is that U-shaped pipe under the sink that I always hit my knees on when I'm looking for the dish soap.
That's the one. And it's the only thing standing between you and the methane gas living in the municipal sewer lines. It's a simple water seal. It's brilliant, really. But if you don't have that vent pipe going up through your roof to let air in, that draining water acts like a piston. It creates a vacuum behind it, slurps that trap dry, and suddenly your bathroom smells like a swamp's basement.
Okay, so the vent is the lungs, the drain is the... Let's not finish that metaphor. But I've heard you grumbling about pitch before. Why is it so picky? If steep is good, wouldn't a 45-degree angle be great?
That is the mistake everyone makes exactly once. You think, hey, let's get this stuff out of here as fast as possible. But if you make it too steep, the water races ahead like a sprinter and leaves the solids behind to sit on the dry plastic. That's how you get a dam. You want a lazy river, not a waterfall. 1/4 inch of drop for every foot of horizontal pipe. It's the Goldilocks zone. It keeps the water and the waste moving together at the same speed.
Wait, a 1/4 inch per foot? That's barely any room for error. If my floor is slightly wonky or I'm just a little sloppy with a bracket, I'm basically building a clog factory.
Pretty much. I once saw a DIY job where the guy used a level but didn't realize his level was slightly off. He ended up with a section of pipe that was essentially a very long, very shallow lake. It worked for a month, then the sediment built up. It took me 6 hours to find the belly in that line. I felt like a surgeon looking for a blockage, only much more covered in stuff I'd rather not mention.
You mentioned S-traps when we were looking at that old farmhouse last month. You looked at them like they were cursed artifacts. What's the deal there?
Because they are cursed, Alex. An S-trap is just a P-trap that goes back down instead of into a wall. The problem is that the down leg acts as a perfect siphon. It pulls the water out of the trap every single time the sink drains. They've been illegal in new construction for ages for a reason. If you see one under your sink, you're basically inviting the sewer to dinner.
So if I'm roughing in a new bathroom and I want to do it right, where do I start? Is it all about the soil stack?
Usually, yeah, that's your backbone, the big 3 or 4 inch vertical pipe. Everything else branches off it. And those branches have names that sound like pirate terminology. You got your wet vents, your common vents, and your crown vents. And choosing the right fitting is where most people get tripped up. You can't just grab whatever fits. A sanitary tee is for going from horizontal to vertical. If you use it to turn a corner on a floor, you're asking for a backup. For horizontal turns, you need a Y or a long turn TY. It's about the sweep. You want those solids to round the corner like a race car on a banked track, not slam into the back wall of a T-junction.
It sounds like a giant puzzle where the pieces all look the same, but the wrong one makes your house smell like a locker room. Is that why you're so obsessed with cleanouts?
Cleanouts are my love letter to my future self. They're just capped access points. By code, you need them every 100 feet at the base of stacks, and when you change direction more than 135 degrees. but I like to put them anywhere I think a kid might try to flush a Lego set. I once spent 4 hours trying to snake a line through 3 elbows because there wasn't a cleanout. Now I put them in like I'm getting paid by the cap.
Speaking of kids and Legos, what's the biggest shop disaster you've seen with a DWV setup? Give me the gory details.
Oh, it wasn't a Lego. It was a renovation in an old Victorian. Someone had decided to simplify the venting by just cutting the vent pipe off inside the attic because it was leaking. They figured as long as the attic was drafty, it didn't need to go through the roof.
Oh no.
Oh yes. Over 20 years, the moisture and gases from that pipe had actually rotted the underside of the roof deck so badly that the plywood looked like wet cardboard. But the kicker? The gurgling had become so loud in the guest bath that the owners thought the house was haunted. I had to tell them, your ghost isn't restless, it's just looking for a 2-inch vent stack.
The haunting of Sector 4. So, for the folks listening who are staring at a pile of white pipe and purple primer, what's the golden rule?
Take a breath and remember, gravity is the boss, but air is the assistant manager. If you respect the slope and give the system a way to breathe through the roof, you're 90% of the way there. And please, for the love of your flooring, dry fit everything first. There's nothing quite as humbling as realizing you've glued a fitting on backward when the primer is already set and you're 3 stories up.
Dry fit, don't create a waterfall, and don't invite the sewer to dinner. Sounds like a plan.
Exactly. It's not just plumbing, it's making sure your home stays a home and not a science experiment.
Now let's go see if I can find that wrench I dropped in the sawdust.